Hey guys, what's up? Thank you again for joining me on Coffee with Teek. We are drinking a matcha latte today, which is absolutely exquisite. And as you guys can see, what is new? I have my dock back for the new car now. Got myself a little Malibu, and she is pretty, and I like her. But I wanted to give you guys a little video today on growth, and I wanted to touch on it from a couple different aspects, a couple different sides, hopefully to get the point across better. And as I always say, you know, this stuff is me getting stuff out, and hopefully it helps somebody somewhere who is interested in hearing whatever the heck I gotta say. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, all that good gracious stuff. Do what you gotta do. So today I wanted to get into it this way. It was super gloomy this morning. It's actually quite lovely right now, and I am absorbing all of this sunlight, and I think I may stop with the devil's lettuce today. That'll be another video, but I think I'm done with that for a few reasons. But anyway, we'll get to that later. But I want to talk about growth. So when you're a kid, right, you ever have somebody, they come up to you and they're like, wow, you got big, you got so big since the last time I saw you, look at your cheeks, and they come pinch your cheeks and all that stuff. You ever seen like a niece or a nephew and you haven't seen them in a couple months, and it's like, wow, you got really big since I saw you. God, you grow fast. It's not that they're growing fast. It's not that you grew fast. It's the time in between, and because you're not watching or looking at them every single day, you're not realizing all the changes that are happening in between the last time that you've seen them. You see a plant, you know, when you go somewhere and you look at the tree or a plant, either way, I guess a tree is a plant, but you get what I mean. You look at a shrub, a bush, flowers, a tree. You don't hear it when it's growing, you know what I mean? It's just like it's there one day. You just happen to notice it. You ever seen mushrooms pop up after it's rained outside? And it's like, where are the mushrooms? I remember there was this lady that I temporarily kind of lived next to for a little bit, and in her yard, I remember it used to be beautiful green grass. I was only at this place for a few months, but it used to be like really pretty green grass. And then I remember one year I got back and it looked like there was like it looked like somebody had sprinkled like fried chicken on her front yard. And I was like, where did that come from? Like, what is that? And I actually like went to her house and I like looked at it because it was mushrooms. You don't hear the mushrooms. They just pop up one day. Or it seems like that. And the thing is, they're actually growing the entire time, but because you're not paying attention to it, you don't realize it. If you've ever had a house plant, you know, and I mean have grown it from just a little thing, whether that be from a seed or from a cutting, when it's a seed, you don't see, you know, the roots coming out of it. Just one day it's got a little leaf or something at the top. When you have a cutting, you don't see it rooting itself, but something dies off on top of the cutting, and then eventually it starts to grow into something else if you're taking care of it, if you're watering it, you know what I mean, if you're giving it the sunlight it needs. As long as you're providing all the things that allow it to grow, as long as you're giving it a habitat that allows it to grow in a healthy way, at the end of that, you're gonna have a plant, but you're not looking at it. When you put something in the microwave, popcorn for example, you can actually hear popcorn pop, but you don't see it until it starts filling out the bag, you know what I mean? But from the moment that you press the button on the microwave to get the popcorn to cook, there's a process starting. You just don't see it until it gets to a certain point. And the reason why I gave all of these examples beforehand is because when it comes to you as a person and your growth is not a loud thing. Growth is a quiet thing. Growth is something that happens over the course of time. It's not overnight. It's something that takes time. And if the habitat and the environment for you to grow is not something that is healthy, it's healthy. You hear me? If it's something that's not healthy, if it's something that is not nourishing, you're not gonna grow. If you're not watering the things that are in your head, if you get what I mean, if you're not feeding those dreams, if you're not, putting things into an environment where they can grow and you're just keeping them in your head, or if you're too busy talking about what you're gonna do and you're not actually enacting and doing things to get those things done, it's stagnant. There is no growth. But growth is not loud. Don't think that just because you may not see something happening in the moment, it doesn't mean that you are not making progress. Just because people aren't necessarily talking about what you're doing in the way that you want them to, it doesn't mean that there's no progress. Growth is a silent thing, and at the end of that growth, there is something, whether it's beautiful, whether it's something that becomes intelligent, whether it's something that is useful, whether it's something that is, is necessary. There is growth, and growth is silent. And I think that was something that it's been just on me for 2 or 3 days now to talk about that. And I've been going through my old life stuff, and I haven't been able to really make a video about it. But growth is silent. Remember that growth is silent. You don't need to tell everybody what you're doing. You don't need, and that goes for family, friends, your co-workers, the people on your freaking stream that you scrolling. You don't need to tell everybody every single step of every single thing that you're thinking about and every single thing that you're doing. If you overwater a plant, it's gonna turn yellow and die. It's gonna look good at first, but if you're giving it too much of stuff that it doesn't need, which would be feeding it to other people, feeding it into what other people think you should do or what's necessary for you, that's too much. Keep it. You got the vision, you got the focus. Stick to that and feed that and nourish what you know you need to do or what you know is within you, and those things will grow. But when you're looking in the moment, it's gonna feel like you're not making any progress. It's gonna feel like you're not getting nowhere. And be mindful that you can become stagnant when you become comfortable. And it's not just when you become comfortable. You also become stagnant when you start fearing what you do not know. Because fear will keep you still. Fear will stop you from doing anything. Fear will have you not doing anything because you don't know what to do. Sometimes you have to just do without knowing what to do. Sometimes you have to just try and do things scared. Sometimes you have to just set your eyes on something and, fuck it. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's the effort that you put into it, and you learn from all of those things. Every single thing that happens in life, you can learn from. It's what you choose to take from it. You can either think about it as something good or something bad, or you can look at it as an opportunity to learn from something and then move on from it and move forward with whatever else you're planning on doing. And I know I kind of touched on 2 things real quick, but the main thing is growth is silent. You don't need to tell everybody your business and what you're doing at all times. Be patient with yourself. Understand that if you're watching the microwave, it's going to feel like it's taking forever. But if you go in the other room, go to the bathroom, come back, it's going to feel like the time flew. When you are watching a pot boil, it feels like it is taking forever. When you are watching paint dry, it feels like it is taking forever. Growth and things happening are silent. You get to see what it becomes at the end. But be mindful of needing to be patient with yourself and with what you're trying to do. Make sure you're focusing your energy on you and what you are trying to do. Don't tell everybody what you're trying to do. I think that was a mistake for me. I be wanting to include people and stuff so often, and I be wanting, people to tell me what they think about something. and I will talk about it and talk about it and talk about the idea, and then after telling, however many people, and then I overthink what else could be done instead of just starting it. I think about, well, I want it to be perfect if I'm gonna do it this way, I want it to be perfect. I don't want to come out and do something and it's half-assed. It's not that something is half-assed. You have to do what you can with what you have until you have more, because you're not gonna be given more until you do everything with what you have. And that doesn't mean that, you don't put your best foot forward. That doesn't mean if there's opportunity for you to pour more into something, you don't. You do. You absolutely do. But it's knowing when to stop sifting over things, and it's knowing when to stop pondering and thinking over things so you don't become just stagnant and still, and so that you actually start acting on some of those things that you want to do. Because if you're just thinking about it, it just stays up here. You gotta act on stuff. And don't expect things to happen overnight. Give yourself the time and the room to grow. Give yourself the time and the room to see what happens. And then just let it be. You know what I mean? Let it do its thing. Like, the beauty of flowers is that one day they just bloom. And you get this beautiful, pretty little thing that's colorful, that smells really good, and then it dies, and then something new comes from it. And we get so focused on just enjoying, the flowers, that we miss the process of the growth. And part of that is because of the society that we live in. Part of that is because, the era of social media, where everybody is romanticizing their lives. You don't get to see the progress. But I guarantee you, any successful person who really had to work for it, anyone who has been running their own business for years, anyone who just has a startup and they're just starting to profit, they're gonna tell you that in the beginning it was not like what it looks like now. And I think it's important also to, when you get, I like this little trend that's going on, where people are like I saw something where it was this girl was she was in her gym and she was doing her backflips, and she hit a back double, and I think it was a back double tuck, something like that. But it was a half twist and a tuck. It's been a couple years since I've done it, so excuse me. But she hit that, and she was saying how, damn, I want to land this better. And she's in her 20s. And then she went to a picture of herself from when she was 7, and it was a picture of her playing at a preschool gym or something like that. And in the picture she was wait, what, we're hitting back tuck twist, we're doing that? I like that trend where you look back and you see, where you came. There was another girl who posted a video this morning, and she was sitting in her new place, and she was looking at a picture of her old place from the same perspective of her, on her laptop. And she was in tears because she was I didn't realize, she's I'm not where I want to be, but I am further than I was. And to look back and see what I came from brings tears to my eyes, because when I was sitting in that place, I never thought I would be here. And she's and I like to do this sometimes because it just gives me a reminder of how far I've come. And I think that that's so important to, like I said, give yourself room to grow and see, remember where you were at before you got to where you are. And don't be so hard on yourself that you don't see those things. But don't compare your life to anybody else's. Don't compare your growth and what you've done to anybody else's. Don't compare your accomplishments or what you're going after to anybody else's. Don't compare what you do and how you do it to anybody else. Stop comparing yourself. I hate being compared to other people. And anybody that knows me will tell you that. I hate it with a passion. Because honestly, I don't give a fuck about other people. If it's not affecting me directly and it's not in a negative light, I don't care about people. It's just that I am focused on myself. I don't expect anybody to help me. I don't expect anyone to do anything or go out of their way to do anything that's going to make my life any better. I rely on myself to do that. And I appreciate the people that are willing to try to help, whether it be family or whether it be a close friend, whatever it is. Like, I appreciate the help when it's offered, but I'm someone who doesn't even ask for help when I need it. Like, I will find a way, and if I can't find a way, most of the times it's just like, oh well, I just can't do that thing or have that thing, whatever. I'm horrible at asking for help. Probably something I should work on, but we'll see, and we'll get there when the time comes. But I say that to say, you just gotta remember that be patient with yourself. Be patient with the things that, you want. And remember that your dreams and your goals are just that. They are your dreams and they're your goals. You cannot expect anyone else to see the vision that you see the way that you see it, because if the vision was given to you. It was not given to everyone. It was given to you. You are the person that can see it. Therefore, you are the only person that can make it happen. Life is what you make it. Make it happen. You get 80 to 100 years on this planet on average. What are you going to do with it? And I will leave you guys with that. Take care.